All right, welcome everyone. Today is January 30th. I'm super excited to have the team here at Milkshake. We have Obito with us today. He's the developer of Mu Inu. Amazing project. It started at around 20 to 30K, ran up all the way to like, I believe, 4 or 5 mil, something crazy like that. And they got listed on many different exchanges. I remember back then the hype was, definitely exchanges. A lot of projects, it was like pretty scarce to have a project being listed on an exchange. So it was really amazing to have Mood Chain go on this set exchange. So absolutely amazing right there. Congratulations to Obito as well. So what ended up happening was with this Moo coin, they ended up launching a chain called the Moo chain, which had, basically the gas was almost, I wouldn't say it was gasless with like zero fees and stuff like that, but it's maybe like 1,000th of a cent or something crazy like that. So the fees are very cheap. Um, I'm gonna let Obito, explain a little bit about himself if you don't know who he is, or you're living under a rock or something like that. If you don't know who Obito is, feel free to Obito to just explain a little bit about yourself. How you got into crypto, and then your idea with Moon Chain, and then we'll transition into the milkshake token.
Okay, I was on an AMA with you guys a few months ago. People might remember me from I think it was May. I'm the owner of Moo. Um, what am I? So yeah, I'm developer of Moo, owner of Moo. I run the Moo chain with a team. I have my own channel and Twitter and yeah. Who am I? So I guess that runs a quick brief on who I am. And what am I doing right now? Which is just so the project you're listening to today is called Milkshake, Dollar Milk, and they asked me to represent them, and of course, I'm here representing them. Since it's my chain, I have just like the beginning of guys. A lot of chains at the beginning. What chains have done now is a lot more. Maybe Prime Bull Run. There was a lot less sort of standing figures like season things pushing every single project they see. Not every single project, but pushing a lot of BSC projects. What you see now is that a lot of these owners are starting to realize that the way to move forward with their projects, with their chains, is to sort of get more involved in the community of the tokens they see around. It might think is good. That's why you see CZ follows a lot. Recently, 2022 especially, the market started to go down. He started following a lot of tokens, just following them on Twitter, showing the support, commenting, what is this, what is that. You guys have seen it around very frequently. He knows what he's doing. You guys have seen stuff with other chains, Doge chain, things like that. So I'm here today, to sort of support some tokens on the Moo chain. I'm here today to support Milk, which is on the Moo chain. So yeah, that's sort of the brief.
All right, sick. So could we, get into the idea of why you wanted to start Moon Chain, and what are some, some set utilities attached to Moon Chain that, sorry, to Milkshake that make it, unique?
Okay, so when I was speaking to the team about this, they spoke to me, and I was like, I want to join you guys, team, and I want to help you guys out. I want to help you thrive. Project thrives, Moo thrives. So first thing, why do I want to do Moo Chain? So of course, I was looking at new. Basically, the best way to put it is Moo has every use case you could want, or every use case that you could think of. Wallet token. We have the wallet. The wallet's dropping in like 10 days. We have a listing tool. We cover every factor. We have the NFTs. Limited edition. Reasons why you should mint them. Rather than just minting them for the show. Giveaways, things like that. You have we have sort of the Moo pad, which will launch, at a later date, and we have that again, the wallet and the chain. So I from the beginning always wanted to have a chain. Now we had a little bit of an issue because the V1 contract had an error in it. As you guys know, we migrated to a V2 contract, and doing that we also changed a few things. So I had to stop the chain for the V1. And when we migrated to the V2 contract, the chain was start development. Oh, can't even talk. Start development again. So so what is this chain? So essentially, I want chain to be different to normal chains. What I mean is, as I said, as you guys have seen, a lot of projects now and before, sort of after bull run vibe, after bull run time, prime stuff, a lot of the owners of sort of Binance, Chronos, a lot of these chains, even the ones who make Doge chain, they started to support a lot more like tokens on that chain, because obviously the token on chain does well. We see this with Ethereum, a lot of I say the BSC people, but there's no such thing as that, because we're both on the ETH and BSC chain. But, a lot more people were rolling onto the ETH chain around the launch of the protocol. If any of you guys know what that was, Vitalik sort of low key, helping push tokens on the chain, to attract new people there. But essentially, it was a benefit for Ethereum and a benefit the future of Ethereum. So that's sort of what I'm doing with me. I want to be a community type chain, where I support tokens, the team does the work for it, and all together they just blow up. And in return, Mu blows up, and in return, the whole ecosystem is doing well. It's thriving. So that's why I started to do the chain. Now, Milkshake. So when I spoke to the team and I said, I want to join you guys, I want to help you guys out. You're doing good shit. So what are you doing? What can I do? So what is this team doing? So they explained to me that they were making so the founder use cases. What are founder use cases? So they're pillars for the chain. Everyone knows you need these to have a successful running chain. Now, what is this? It's a locker, potentially a launch pad, but mainly just maybe something that makes it easy for people to launch is always better. Something that can help new people want to launch on a chain. You need to have obviously a functional working swap. You need to have a bridge, and that's basically sort of the main essentials you need on a chain. You need essentials, and then it's added things after, and sort of a safety scannable, things like that. So they told me first things first. We obviously we have a partnership with Tucker. So what does that mean? Is people can literally go use Tucker bot, if they want to deploy a Moose contract, they can do it instantly. In return, they're deployed instantly, and they can, unruggable, very safe. It just obviously comes down to if the team are pushing or not. That's obviously what you see. Now they sort of like slow ruggers. So so they told me they're building a safety analyzer bot. So essentially, you guys have seen that, or want on the Moo chain a bot where you can sort of just scan tokens, and it will be like, oh, it's done. It's safe. How much tax it is, any hidden mint functions. That'll be made for the Moo chain. So in the future, of course, you can imagine a lot of sort of Moo chain community TGs out there will want to have that in their group or proof groups, so they can, when they scan these CAs or contracts to buy, they can see if they're safe or not by checking that. So of course, that's going to be very, very useful. Now, that's not just the only thing. There's a lot of other things there as well. I think they also listed that most recent this week, they said Friday is staking. I hope they're not Sphinx Labs. And yeah, staking pool of them attracting their audience. There's a lot of B-Rise whales in Sphinx Labs, as you guys know. If you don't know what Bitrise is, essentially sort of Moo's early beginnings. But yeah, Bitrise hit, I think, 100 million. And they have a chain. They have an on-chain that people bridge to all the time. And yeah, they started at 1 million when they were a Sphinx. So, it's sort of similar upcomings. But essentially, attracting the audiences through that as well, of course, is very, very good. So that's staking, which will be out this Friday, which they told me to say. They told me to reiterate. So staking, you've had safe analyzer bot. Now, what else? Now, Moo has a lot. Moo itself, we've built a lot of fun use cases, a lot of recent partnerships. I don't know if you guys saw. We recently partnered with Gempad. That integration will happen in about last Thursday. The partnership was announced, so maybe about 2 weeks from now, it will be completed. Midway through February, we'll get the stable coins instead of old coins on the chain, and then. We're just going to keep growing. So, and increase speed and stuff like that, even lower fees, even more, even though they're millicent. But yeah, so you guys have already heard what we've built. So how can they build their own thing? So on top of that, they also want to build their own sort of locker system, which is very cool. Their own sort of multi-staking system, which what I mean by that is other Moo chain projects can just come to them and they can take Moo instead. See, a lot of things you see is people try to charge BNB instead, and of course that can always be a little bit hard to maintain. So paying a Moo, of course, helps the whole ecosystem out. So of course that will also give them marketing funds, either buy back the chart or spend on other callers or other influencers, or just developments. So anyways, that's that. They're making a custom buy bot, charting tools. They want to make every founder use case for the Moo chain they can. So people come to Moo chain and see that. And one of the biggest things are also the Moo punks. They're going to make Moo punks, like sort of punk NFTs. If any of you guys have seen those, yeah, those are going to be very, very, very nice. I hope to mint for you when they come out. But what else? So those are sort of the basic rundown of use cases to start off with. I went on there for quite a while, but yeah.
All right, sick. So you explained a little bit about, Milkshake and such like that and how you guys want to create, a locker system. And it's really great that, yourself as the developer of Mu is speaking on behalf of the team. I wish a lot of blockchains or other blockchains did that. Amazing that you're fully supporting them and such like that. Very, very amazing to hear. If possible, if you want to show a little bit about because Mu Chain is a relatively new chain. And I feel like a lot of people haven't really caught on the idea of, how to bridge or how to, buy Milkshake itself. So if possible, if you want to share your screen, if you want to, show a little tutorial on how to actually buy the Milkshake token yourself, and then show people here that are interested in learning more, do you think you could do that, Obito?
So I don't think I can share my screen right now because I'm actually on a mobile device. But I can basically, if you guys go into the either Mood chat or the Milkshake chat, essentially how you bridge is that you go into the Milk chat and you put how to buy. Altogether how to buy. In a Mood Chain chat, you can put /Mood Chain /guide /whatever. You can ask anyone. I'll tell you. So, what does this mean? So, when you go there, if you're looking to buy, sort of first thing first, I'll go over this. New chain tokens, sort of things like Milkshake that have a lot of potential. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen in the past of a lot of chains such as Doge chain. You have Doji, which went to 4 million. You have Crocoin, which went to 60 million on the Kronos chain. Tokens that went high because they were the founder token on that chain. Not the first, but they were the most dominant. But it's not only brought life to that token, but also brought life to the chain. For example, when Krog went to like 10 million, it started a whole era of people launching on Mood Chain. Oh, sorry, Crow Chain. When Doji went to like 2 million, everyone was launching on a Doge chain. And Milkshake hit 300k in day one, and like I said, I bought like 17k of the supply. Now some people have sold on that, but essentially, none of these tokens had the founder support of the chain. Now, that's why I'm very excited for staking. When staking comes out, a majority are locked up. Not only can a team, start the proper development again, but I can send a chart again. But yeah, so when you start to see certain market caps, so I assume around 600, 700k, now when people go, oh shit, I faded or I missed out, and they don't think they missed out. So what sort of going in the investor's head is if they see a token that everyone calls a moonshot, and they buy it and they hold it and they see it's not going anywhere for a few days, and then they sell, and then they and then sort of it's hit a natural floor Milkshake now around 100k, 110k, and they hold and they sell. People do that, and when they see it pump, anyone's been in a token before, they've been told it's alpha, they sell alpha, and they keep seeing it pumping. Then there's two things in their head. First, it goes, oh shit. That's the best way to put it. A lot of you guys had that reaction. I missed a sort of a moonshot, and the other reaction is, okay, well, I sold, but I'm going to buy back and not make the same mistake. And they end up getting at higher highs. I've you see a lot of tokens where investors sell, including Mu itself. They sold at like 18k, and then they bought back at like 300. So so that's something I just wanted to add. Sort of Milkshake and tokens like that or new chains have a lot of potential to the most dominant, millions or more. That's why a lot of people love top of new chain stuff, including Shibarium coming up, where everyone is assuming big money because it's a new chain. My precise point. But yeah, so how do you bridge? So since it's a new chain, you would just go into the how to buy, you put that in how to buy Milkshake. You would add the Sphinx bridge to either your Trust Wallet or MetaMask. If you're on Trust Wallet iOS, I would just suggest you use MetaMask. If you're using a Trust Wallet Android, you're fine, because on Android devices on Trust Wallet, you can add new or third-party chains. I say third-party, I mean just chains that Trust Wallet haven't officially added themselves. And so what you do is you add Mu Chain. Well, you don't need to do it straight away. You just need to go to Trust or go to your wallet. Like I said, MetaMask. Use MetaMask as an example. You would post the bridge. You'd have to buy Mu on BSC. You bridge it to Mu Chain via this bridge. You'll get the link in the chat. You select Mu, how much you own of it, and then the bottom will say to Mu Chain. You click bridge, click confirm. It's done. You're in the Mu Chain. Now you add the Mu Chain network, which is you put /Mu Chain in the main chat for Mu, or in a Milkshake chat, and you'd see it. And then when you add Mu Chain, the Mu Chain network to your MetaMask or Trust Wallet, if you're on Android again, you can add this network. You're on the chain. So buy a token you like using Barn Swap, and yeah, you guys can see the dollar value on the side, just like Pancake Swap. When someone asks me about the dollar value and it's confusing to add the amount, I added it straight away. So now you guys can obviously dollar value of how much Mu you're buying, which is very, very useful. So yeah, so that's sort of how to bridge. And yeah, I thought I'd add in the other part, Frogs, just so people understand what new chain tokens are, rather than just a normal token.
I'm not too sure if we can hear you, Frog.
Did you hear me, or
Frog.
I stopped there? I stopped there at the end.
I could hear you, Obito, but Frog's talking away and his mic isn't working.
Oh,
Right.
can you hear me now? Or is... oh, okay.
Yeah. Or it's not you. Give me a second to sort out. I just got a quick question myself. Do you remember the exact date that MooChain actually, like the mainnet, went live? Was it November the 2nd?
So it was
Or
right
3rd?
November the 7th, right
Sorry,
after then.
can you guys hear me now?
So,
Or not?
yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you now.
yeah.
Oh, and now we can't hear you anymore because you're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh. Yes, we're good now.
Perfect. Sorry, guys. But yeah. So sorry, I was just explaining about. So it's relatively simple, to buy Milkshake token if you're interested. You just have to use the Sphinx app, use the bridge, and I guess obviously you have to buy Moo first. Buy Moo on BSC, then move the Moo from BSC to the Moo chain using the Sphinx app, and then you use Barn Swap or any you can use Dex Screener. They have Barn Swap integrated, and just swap between tokens. Make sure you get the right contract address for a Milkshake. But yeah, this coin did absolutely amazing. I remember one candle, it went to 250K, something like that. It was a lot of hype. So I got racked right on the first candle, not gonna lie. But we called it the dip. I think around 30 or 40K, something. I think something relatively around there, 30 to 40K. Now it's at 100K. So amazing work. The team has been working hard and everything, and it actually went up again. I believe to 180K the next day. I was just checking it out a couple days ago. Absolutely amazing, phenomenal job to the team. So we talked a little bit about how to buy Milkshake and stuff like that, and could you explain a little bit about I guess besides the utility, there's Moolock, there's a bunch of other stuff that you guys are integrating with Milkshake. So talk a little bit about your utilities and the value that you guys are planning to add to the chain using Milkshake. Vito, you here?
I think we're all having some
Yeah.
audio issues today.
So yeah, so when the team, I spoke to the team about this, and when they spoke back to me, of course, when I asked them, to support, I needed everything from them. So they told me sort of the questions of how and why. So how are they going to do it and why? So first thing first, their safe analyzer bot. Why? First thing first is the thing needed on the chain. People want to scan CAs to make sure they're safe. People will eventually get put off if they keep buying scams. And yeah, so that's sort of why they've made it. And then what? What does it do? So how is it going to grow the project? So what is it? How does it grow the project? That's the best way to put it. So essentially, as I said, when there's a scanner bought for a new chain and it's the main one of its kind at the moment, probably be the only one, everyone wants it everywhere. What I mean is by that is anyone who buys Moo Chain projects, any Moo Chain shield. There's a lot. I had a community make a bunch of random Moo Chain shield groups. They named it their own things: Moo Chain bets, Moo Chain calls, Moo Chain shills. But they named it what they wanted to name it. If you go into Moo group and you put /Moo Chain shills, there's like 100. No, not 100. It's about 10 groups of community made groups just for like shilling Moo Chain tokens, talking in there. They can do what they want in there. And then there's one official one by me called the Moo Chain Lounge. And essentially, these groups are groups that people are posting tokens and they're talking about they should buy them. They would all add this spot because they would want people to feel safe, checking CAs in there, making sure it's 100%, make sure it's safe. People now, as a smart way of shilling, tend to go into places like, like open priv groups. What I mean is, things like Chinese priv groups. Once people can just join, and you tend to just scan a CA in there to try and bring FOMO in. But essentially, people would want to have this for safety in these groups. They'd want to have it in a Moo Chain group for groups, the Moo Chain Lounge, and their own priv groups. Because when they find these tokens, they want to make sure they're not scams. Which is essentially what we do. When you find nice tokens, sometimes people here look on the scanners for tokens. You don't want to check them to make sure it's not a scam. You first scan it, see if everything's okay. If you're sort of new, to make sure you're not rugged. So so that's why. And what can it do? So after it's added a bunch of groups, that's what mass adoption is. So when it's added a bunch of groups, it's mass adoption. Then you can do what with mass adoption? You can add ads. So what they would add ads on there. So you can probably imagine having a little ad at the bottom saying TG for Milkshake, maybe a little chart symbol, and everyone joining that TG who sees this bot, who scans a token, just to check us out and ROI. I mean, by ROI, I mean not everyone will join, but not everyone. People will join, but not everyone will buy, and it'll be the new people that come in at the same time. Get intrigued, will know what it's about. I think I'm cut there. Did you guys hear me okay? Hello?
Yeah, you're all good. I think Frog is having some more issues, some more audio issues though.
Okay, all good. It's just mass adoption. So mass adoption partnered with making the chain safer, and with mass adoption, always equals some sort of FOMO, some sort of increased influence with your project. Increased awareness. Everyone's going to know about your project. They might not choose to invest in it, but majority do have a look at it, and some buy. That's what you see now with things like some projects that you've probably seen with bots in the last month or two. This whole AI trend, where mass adoption with those bots have encouraged people to join a TG and buy the token. So that's sort of what it is. But on top of that, rather than just be a bot that people use, we're a bot that literally makes the chain safer. So that's what they're doing, and of course, I'm going to support them.
Sure, yeah, and I'm guessing that's where the kind of utilities come into play with Milkshake, and the kind of not just to push the token, but to also bring an improvement to the chain in general. You spoke about how like certain, for example, on new chains like what's it called, Doge chain and Kronos. How as soon as one thing flies to multi-millions, everyone's suddenly jumping on the chain, everyone's suddenly getting on board. So I think it's good that Milkshake are kind of laying the foundations for the kind of basic needs of a blockchain. For example, you mentioned the liquidity locker and the safe scanner, two very, very important things, things that I use very, very often. And it's pretty much impossible to verify that a coin is completely safe without having the liquidity locked. So I think it will definitely, Milkshake will definitely bring on opportunity for a lot more projects to launch on Moo Chain, and I'm sure that will generate some kind of revenue for you guys as well, so that you can help fund the chart and future utilities as well.
Yeah, so Moo, we have an official locker as well, but what I tend to see is and sort of things like Gempad and Sphinx, sort of they have their own lockers, so people can lock on there via Moo Chain. Sort of like how people go to Unicrypt on ETH, they can just quickly lock third-party companies, locks done, things like that. But see, with Moo Chain, with Milkshake, the difference is it's not like a third-party company to Moo Chain. Of course, it's not a Moo Chain, a Moo official token or anything, but essentially, it's built on the Moo chain, which means that its number one focus is Moo. So there will be no when it comes down to support or when to use cases being used by people. The revenue won't people won't ask other currencies. They'll be asking for Moo, which helps a lot of I say newer developers, because essentially it tends to be a lot of people be asking for BNB ETH. They probably won't ask for that Moo. So of course it's a lot harder for developers to just go. It prevents it minimizes selling. It's the best way to put it. So that's sort of how Milkshake has a 1-up.
Frogman, your audio issues are. Hopefully, if he leaves and joins back, it should work. Hopefully.
Does it work now?
Yes, you're all good now.
Okay, perfect. I don't, maybe it's my Wi-Fi. Maybe hold up. Oh, I had a VPN on. That's why. Hold up.
All right. I think Frog should be joining back in just a moment. Not too sure what all this audio issues is going on today, but sometimes just stuff like this happens, unfortunately.
Yo, can you guys hear me now? Man, this Wi-Fi is killing me, man.
You're all good, man.
All right, I was just talking about how it's super important. Wait, did you hear what I was saying prior? Or?
Nothing whatsoever.
Okay, so I was talking basically about the mass adoption that you guys are using, because if you're able to get people familiar with something specific, in a sense, with Milkshake, and they can correlate Milkshake with the Moo Inu, then it's a no-brainer, because that's why a lot of projects like SafeMoon blew up, and SafeMoon blew up, and that made BNB blow up even a lot more, because BNB was well known. There's also some projects on the BSC and stuff like that, but it was only till SafeMoon and Bonfire and all these other big projects really blew up and made BNB more usable, in a sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's great that you guys are having Milkshake in a sense to create for some sort of adoption and give relevance for Moo Inu itself.
That's the whole point. Yeah. Like I said, I predicted 3 stages. So I told some people, good team on Milk. So how I wanted to sort of restructure Moo Chain was I wanted to have a lot of projects, a lot of good teams launched on there. So people come to Moo Chain, they have good teams to invest in, good stuff. So start with Milkshake. So as I said, they were making their project. I hit them up. I want to support them. Help them out. It only benefits the Moo ecosystem altogether if they have support, which is of course what everyone wants. Just like how a lot of times we'll support projects for free on the ETH chain or the BSC chain, because for them to succeed, because it only just helps the whole space as a whole. So so this is my whole idea. So of course some people, I saw day one of Milkshake was quite crazy. I think I told some people I'm going to be helping the team on the chain, and some people went a bit crazy about that, and what you saw was a massive influx of volume onto Moo to buy this token. Basically shows you the potential. Bear in mind, Milkshake only went to around 40K on day one, and Moo went to 1 million. And with Moo's liquidity, which also I think is a very big benefit, which is, some people might say, as a lot of you guys see, basically almost all the ETH tokens that launch tend to have quite a low liquidity ratio, and on BSC now lower liquidity ratios are being used. Now that's the moon harder, but it also doesn't mean they're stable. If the token goes down, it goes down. sort of with Moo, it's a chain. People will be bridging out and more. It's normal. You know, people will sell things. A lot of people tend to ask me questions, stupid questions about Moo, like, oh, the chart went down quite fast, or and I tend to explain to them the most basic things. And you know, it's a chain token. A lot of people bought up Moo to probably buy Milkshake, and you know, when they made profit, they bridged back their Moo and sold. You know, that's what people want to do, just like BNB chain and ETH chain. Now, this is the prediction I had, which was essentially, so this is exactly what you guys probably might think as well. So essentially, it comes down to there's everyone buying up to buy the token in the beginning. This is exactly what happens in normal tokens. But imagine it's sort of the way of people buying ETH. Now everyone's buying ETH to sort of buy these crazy tokens, but let's say in Moo. So everyone's buying Moo to buy this token. They buy the token, they make their profit, they're out. Some don't make their profit, they're out. Some just can't be asked to wait and they're out. Some didn't even buy and they're just out. So they're selling their Moo right now with profit or without, but they just can't be asked for the token on the chain anymore. Or they can't be asked for chain tokens, you know, from Moo. So what do? They sell their Moo. And then there's sort of an influx of people recuperating Moo to buy the dip on sort of tokens like Milkshake. And then it comes to the point where there's people FOMOing in Moo to buy Milkshake before it's gigasends. Now you see this on things like Crow Chain, on Doge Chain. You see token, they went to like 100k on day one, bottom of 20k, you know. People selling their Crow, bridging back, it's not worth it, I've made my money. And then they see the spike on the chart to like 1 to 2 million, and they just go again, oh, I've really fucked up. You know, I've messed up here. You know, what can I do now? And there's two things in their head. It's, oh, I can still make some quick profit. I think it's going to 10 mil. I'll buy back now, even though I sold before. Or they'll just go, oh, damn. You know, I'm gonna launch a token on the chain, and sort of try and replicate this market cap, especially to put it. Or they'll go third thing, which is I'm just gonna buy Moo, keep money on the chain. So if there's another token that launches, I can try and replicate those profits that people are making right now. So those are the three sort of states people are in. And we're in the second state right now, which is people are just chilling right now. We're not really accumulating that much. You know, it's just Moo. Now people to this day, as you've probably seen a lot of projects, frogs, they tend to they see Moo, they've seen Moo being around for a year, they've seen what the stuff we've done, and they go and ask me when, you know, when next Twitter call, and then when next Telegram call. And you know, you have to explain to them several times. For example, we even did YouTube again not long ago, and the effect was horrible. And you know, what people need to understand is we've done all these marketing, campaigns tenfold. Everything you could probably name, we've done at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And so then what does it lead down to then? What is the final factor? It's not marketing, it's what's done with the thing you've built. So for example, as you guys have seen, you know, Moo was at 300k a few weeks, 2 weeks ago. And, you know, we recovered the space of 1 million a day. Now people are buying up for this token. Now, this is people just buying up crazy. That was a bit too crazy, but essentially you see the potential of several projects on Moo Chain from some, you know, good teams, where it can get Moo. And then you look into it and you think, okay, so, you know, YouTube sent us up like 30, 40k, but, you know, tokens launching that people see benefit for Moo to buy. And they see a mutual benefit, they see a mutual benefit in Move. You know, they can buy Moo to buy this. Then they FOMO when you see how much it, you know, pumped the market cap. So you see this, and you go, Telegram, you know, Twitter, they won't do anything on Moo. Now it's the building stage. People were too lazy to, you know, join in this building, or just can't be asked to not see any calls or something. You know, they leave now, which is essentially what's going on. You know, the first stage is going, people are selling their Moo, all bought from Milkshake. And like I said, on day one, you saw this, you know, I bought 10, 20k supply of my own money. And yeah, you know, people were selling on it. And that's sort of a prime example of you need to shake everyone out. So now you're at the stage of, again, accumulation. You know, Moo went back to 630, you know, chilling around 550, now 540. I don't really mind where it's chilling because, you know, I have a clear idea of what's going on. And what you see is people will slowly start to accumulate. When they start to see Milkshake go higher and higher, or when they start to see Milkshake, you know, the next leg is running up, they'll FOMO. And then you see that FOMO coming in slowly until Milkshake's around, you know, 500, 600k. And then it'll be, you know, updated on many channels, you know, even probably you'd be, you know, updating it like, oh, crazy. And, you know, that's when people start to have a look at it, say, how can I buy? What is this? You know, and they get intrigued. And that's basically the third stage, which is, we're not in yet, but, you know, we're leading towards, you know, with the release of staking and things like that.
Yeah, man. Frog, your mic's gone again. Try leaving and joining back. It fixed it last time. Try leaving and joining back.
I don't know why I'm having such big issues today. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're all good now. Don't worry. Just
all right,
bugging out, I think.
Yeah, I think Telegram is just something's wrong with Telegram. I'm gonna delete it and reinstall it back again. But yeah, you've just been smashing through all these questions. Amazing work. Regarding Moo and Milkshake itself. It's really great to see you as the developer of Moo, to come help. And speak on behalf of Milkshake and such like that. So I applaud you for that. All right, I want to really get into community questions because I know we're gonna have a lot of community questions regarding Milkshake. I can't see any of the messages that are being sent, so because my Telegram is that slow. So maybe I'll restart Telegram. I'll come back and just guys drop your questions below. I want to see if this will go through because I actually can't even see anything. All right, I'll be right back, guys. 1 second.
All right, I guess I'll kick it off with the first question up here. So Alex asks, how does SafeView bot work? Can all Milkshake token holders use the bot? And where can I get information about the team? Where can I find it? And why does your white paper contain so little information about the project? So I'm a bit difficult to understand about the project. So basically, how does I think it's 3 separate questions. How does a safe scanner bot work? And why is the white paper very, very minimal?
This is a good one. So these are ones I asked them. I read through the white paper, wasn't too big. And so first of all, SafeView scanner bot's available to everyone. You can't have mass adoption if it's sort of dictated at the beginning. If it's just for a certain amount of holders, a certain group of people, mass adoption can't occur. It can only occur after it's widely used, because then you can sort of narrow that down. If no one uses as you see today, a lot of things everyone uses is starting to add ads on in the space. People start to add stuff on. They couldn't do that at the beginning. You have to first grow to be able to enter that next level. But yeah, so for everyone, you put a MooChain token in the group, and it will just scan it and tell you the tax, if it's safe or not, honeypot, whatever, any key info you need. So that's that. As for the white paper, so when I asked the team this, so why is white paper so small? Why does it have too much info on it? So they said they don't want to reveal too much about sort of the plans and stuff. They want to have everything core in there. Now, if you go into the white paper, what you see is the core info with the use cases, the name of the token, why Milkshake. That's literally what you need. The extra things you need is probably stuff about. It has the tax stuff in there as well. The extra things you need in there would probably be info like more use cases to come, more how do I explain it? Certain burns, certain things running for the token. Now I see that useless. I see when they told me this, I understood. Would you read the white paper for the details, or the core details? You don't want to see any waffle, is the best way to put it, about not the description of the project, because you always want to read that, but about people put stories and tales about their token. That's not what you want to read. You want to read the taxes, the tokenomics, the info for the token, where it's on, how to bridge, and what they're building. Now they're going to build more and more and more. So you'd expect a V2 white paper, because I've already told them they need to have a V2 white paper out when we get bigger. But for now, for the core use cases they're building, the white paper is covered. When they're done with that, they can then update it, update the website, update the info. That's how you build. But yeah, that's really the core answer to what you asked, to what he asked.
I see what you mean, really. I mean, yes, of having a white paper and a really structured, website and white paper can be good, but at the same time, people, like you said, are just looking for the core information, and no one really wants to, read waffle and information that isn't going to make them, any more bullish about a project. So I think having a minimalistic kind of white paper that just explains, what the team is going to be doing and the utilities and the use case behind the token is a bit better than just, waffling on and just having things there for the sake of having things. I think that's definitely a fair point. But do I personally think that a little bit more information would be beneficial on the white paper? I think so. Maybe a bit of elaboration on the utilities, but like you said, a bunch of waffle just isn't really necessary.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. As I said, the V2 update, they told me it's coming. But yeah, all the key info and stuff, they can always add a bit more stuff on there, more info. But yeah, I think they'll probably do that in the V2. Also their updated website.
Definitely, for sure. Well, let's move on to the next question here. Lots and lots of questions. Jesus. Even my Telegram's starting to bug out. Let's have a look. Trying to pick a question because there's so many great questions. I'm just trying to pick the ones that can really be explained that we haven't really covered. Okay, yeah, this is a good one, I guess. Marcos asks, can you inform us about the risk? Oh, I just lost it. The risk management strategies that your project uses to safeguard the platform's investments and credits. And how do you truly assure that you have a backup basis to fall back on in case of a problem or unexpected changes in the crypto market?
Let me look at that. I don't know. Can you read that again? I didn't properly understand it.
So Marco says, can you inform us about the risk management strategies that your project uses to safeguard the platform's investments and tokens? So I think what he means is the kind of security and safety, like have you guys got any audits, any KYCs, anything?
Okay.
So
So as for KYCs for myself, I mean, the team had to tell me who they were and stuff like that. So that's all safe for the security of Milkshake. That's safe there. Now security of Moo itself, I'm KYC, token is audited. Audit scores like 90 something. It's very high, out of 100. Now the audit for the chain is incoming. But of course, we have people check the chain for security measurements. You have a bunch of private validators running the chain. So essentially, private validators running the chain are people you trust, people that can't do it. Basically keep the chain even more secure than public ones. Public ones, you have to get a form out there. People have to apply, to make sure that it's 100%. So yeah, of course, private ones, is run by people you guys might know. The Tate token dev went to about 50 million. Him and his team are on that. So as you guys know, very sort of hardworking, trustworthy guys there running the validators for Moochain.
Sorry, Bill, I think you cut out as well just after the validator part. Beta? We're all having technical difficulties today, eh?
All right, I think I'm back.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, when it comes down to safety of Moochain, I'm KYC and audited. We have private validators. Don't know if you guys heard that part. I'll just quickly run through that. Take token dev and his team, very, very good. That one's like 50 million, but market caps are irrelevant to safety. So yeah, when it comes down to safety, there's a good working team there. When it comes down to Moochain, I'm KYC and audited. Moo as well. I mean, it's the same token. But yeah, and then when it comes down to Milkshake, they've obviously had to KYC in order to me, so they're safe from there. So basically, all two projects are safe. And the validators in the chain are private, which keeps Moochain safe. And as we expand, we may explore public validators, but of course, after being heavily checked.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, you can never really have too much safety and too much security in a project. It definitely does increase people's trust a lot and stuff like that. Crypto Angel, security and marketing. I think those questions have just been answered. Have a look. Lovely people shilling, which is great. James says, have you thought about making your own non-custodial wallet for the users' easy accessibilities in your utilities like NFT, staking, and bridge? Okay, this is a good question. So how do you guys, sorry, does the team of Milkshake plan to do any kind of their own wallet? I know MooChain have their own wallet coming out soon, or maybe it's already out. I'm not too sure.
So
But
to answer that wallet thing, no. I mean they have things like staking and stuff via like stinks and things like that, and then of course when it comes to other teams in the mutual staking, they'll have like a multi thing where people can just stake. Other teams can go to them to open their own staking pools. But when it comes down to a wallet, no. I don't think there's really much of a big benefit if they're making their own wallet on MooChain. MooChain, if Moo already has a wallet and it has Moo, and it'll be MooChain catered as a default setting. You can switch it to BSC but people can. It'll be MooChain catered as a default setting. Then how can if it's like if oh, that's definitely not the best example, but it's if Moo is making a wallet where basically everyone can access MooChain, then how can Milkshake dominate with their own wallet? Everyone can access MooChain. It makes no sense. So the best thing is to just have ours. Essentially, what Milkshake are doing is their own use cases and building founder stuff as well for other teams to come to them for things. But of course, for the actual chain itself, we're building the founder sort of things like the wallet, for security.
for sure, yeah. I mean, it does make sense to use the MooChain's wallet, just because like you said, it is still a new chain, relatively new chain. Moo is under a mil, so there's not too much point in launching a second wallet service it would be very, very hard to compete. But will the tongue twister, will the Milkshake team link their staking and link their all their utilities to the MooChain side of utilities, or will they just kind of make their own kind of platforms?
Well, will Milkshake sort of link there? So when it comes down to, I mean, they'll be making their own platforms. Those platforms will be, the teams come to because they see a benefit, mutual benefit. They pay a Moo, they can have their staking pool set up or something for cheap. So when it comes to that, yeah, I guess you could say Moo team. When it comes to Moo chain itself, we're building the use cases. We build a founder use case on there. People want to use them, so you have partnerships, because as I said, most recent one, we have more coming after. I announce every Thursday I do sort of integration announcement where I announce a new big integration. I did one earlier today. I think it was just Coin Meta Hub, integrating us into their listing site and things like that. But essentially, what the point I'm getting at is MooChain. So how does this benefit MooChain at all? So Moo will have like sort of obviously places you can go to. As I said, you guys can go to Gempad, you guys can go to Slinks if you want to lock up, want to launch and open staking pool, stuff like that. So we sort of have everything set for them if they need to do things like that now. What people are doing on the Moo chain, which makes it different, is they're building it more community orientated to people on the Moo chain. If you want to launch on the Moo chain, or sorry, not launch, but if you want to open a pool on the Moo chain, taking profits at that, rather than go to these third party companies, you can just go to another Moo chain token and have it all there for you. And of course, in return, what does that do? That just helps strengthen Milkshake and the stuff on there, which is what they said they want to do. While I run Moo, they run that, and all together, it grows the overall token. And as that grows, so do they.
Amazing, yeah, great answer. I think we'll take one more question here, and then we'll wrap up with our Kahoot trivia. Crypto Angel asks, lastly, can you tell us some of the remarkable ways to earn more in your platform? What are the benefits of buying your token, especially now we are in a bear market? What are the advantages of holding for a long time? So I think, what are the kind of long-term benefits of holding Milkshake?
That's a good one. So from what the team have told me, sort of, if you buy a Milkshake, you know, when you buy a long-term token, even big tokens, you know, such as things like SafeMoon and Floki, other big tokens, there's no reward for how long you hold. The fact you buy a big amount or you're holding for this long is for a reason. It's not because you want to hold for the fact of flexing, you hold for a long time. It's because you know the token will do well, or you think the token will do well. For example, you know, why do people buy tokens and hold them for so long, like Bitcoin? You know, why, for example, even Bitcoin, why do people hold Bitcoin from, you know, when it was at like under $1? It's because they thought it would do well. There's no reward for them for that. You know, they don't get rewarded for the fact they have that. Their reward is their patience. Their reward is how much they own now because they were patient. So sort of when it comes down to holding tokens like Moon things, there's incentives to hold, staking, other things, you know, on there, giveaways, community connections. New Army, you earn money for doing raids and stuff, but there's no sort of, you don't get paid to hold. You know, it's cryptocurrency. You know, at the end of the day, if you get paid to hold a coin, then what is an investment? You know, the investment is you holding with patience to turn over profit. So essentially, that's sort of what you aim to do with an investment. So with Milkshake, you know, there's incentives. There'll be staking. There'll be other things when they, you know, when they build their use cases. But the main reason people be holding long term, it won't be because they're getting rewarded with things just for holding, or just because they hold for a while. You know, that's I tend to see it as every hold is differently. Like for example, main move. I don't. If people want to make world groups, they can. I don't really like the idea of a world group because essentially how I see it is, it just means, you know, sort of like big. You can essentially see it in a way as sort of big investors. It basically gives big investors a reason why not to sell. So, and of course, some of these investors are diamond hands, but some of them are also Jeeps. You know, if you're a whale, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a diamond hand. You know, it could be a whale. You could be selling tokens after, you know, a couple, 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. And see, what I believe is sort of with a well group, you prevent these Jeeps from selling. And what that has is they have all this money stacked up for when it pumps, and bam, there it goes. So that's why I sort of believe in that, treating everyone, you know, equally in Moo, or you know, in my own in that token is what I'm getting at is, you know, I don't believe there should be incentives for how long you hold. If you hold for 1 minute, hold for 10 minutes, hold for a year, because you all believe in the same vision. Just like, you know, if you're a big holder or a small holder. So same on Milkshake, you know, there's incentives to make you hold. There's incentives that you can hold longer or shorter. But at the end of the day, you're holding because you believe that the token will do well. So, you know, with the use cases, with the plans. So, yeah, there are no sort of benefits for holding long term, but there are incentives to keep you holding or earn. So, you know, you can earn holding for a while. That's a benefit. You know, you can sort of, you know, you accumulate, you know, there's a bunch of things, but essentially it comes down to the point of there's incentives, but there's no thing putting you in there where you know, just earn passively for doing nothing apart from, you know, just having these tokens for a while.
For sure, yeah. No, I understand. You know, it's like there might not be a way to earn on your tokens, apart from, you know, when staking comes out, but like definitely believing in the project, and especially since Moochain in general is still, you know, very, very small and you know, a very, 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 very small network still. So as you know, naturally as Moochain grows and expands, so will the tokens on it, and so will Milkshake eventually. So I think, you know, apart from the staking rewards, I think just holding for a while is beneficial. You know, I'm sure that the team won't be leaving Milkshake anytime soon for a very long while. So hopefully, as the growth of Moochain expands, so will Milkshake. And yeah, I think that's definitely a pretty good incentive to hold. All right, well, I think that wraps up our questions. Just finalizing our Kahoot right now, and we will be we'll be getting that trivia up in just a moment. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly set up the Kahoot trivia, and we'll be getting ready to go. Just a minute. All right, 2 seconds, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna quickly share my screen, and we'll be getting this Kahoot up very shortly. If you guys don't know what Kahoot is, It's a very fun and interactive trivia game where you guys can battle it out and compete to answer the most questions correct in the least amount of time possible for more points. And the higher up, the more points you get, the higher up on the leaderboard. The higher up on the leaderboard, the more prizes you get. So head over to www.kahoot.it and type in this game pin, or alternatively, click the link I'm about to drop in the Telegram, or head over to Twitter. You posting a link up on there. Give me 2 seconds. Join our Kahoot trivia. Yeah. All right, guys. So head over and click that link I just dropped in the channel. If you're too lazy to type it up, just click on that link. Make sure you join with your Telegram username. If you join with anything else, we won't be able to give you your prize, unfortunately. So head over to the channel, click on that link, join up with your Telegram username, and start competing. Give you guys a couple minutes to join. Should be reasonably easy for you guys. If you have any questions, drop them below. For me or Abito or anyone, let us know. Also, how are you guys liking the new professional kind of layout? I think it's definitely a lot more cleaner, a lot better. I made some more graphics, like the now live stuff and little things here and there. Quite like it. The feedback has been great so far. We've got 13 of you guys in here. Come on, I think we can hit at least 30. Let's get you guys joining. Join up. Click the link in the Telegram, or head over to Twitter, or head over to www.kahoot.it. Type in this game pin. We've got 11 questions that Mike has picked for us. All right. I'll give you guys another 2 minutes to join. If you guys are having any issues or anything, just drop them below and I'll do my best to help you out. Even my Telegram's bugging out. Wow. There's like nothing will load whatsoever. I think it must be the Telegram servers or something just getting overloaded. Because we've never had this problem before. Really, we haven't. All right, guys. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to join. Once again, click the link I just dropped in the channel, or head over to www.kahoot.it. Type in this game pin. I'm going to count down from 30. So, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Actually, let me do another quick giveaway. I'll do a random listener giveaway while we're waiting the final ones of you guys to join up. So, Abito, if you want to let me know when to stop, I'm just going to scroll through here and land on a random person. So just let me know when to stop and we'll go. Let me know when, Abito.
Stop.
Okay, we got Drogon. I don't know if that's how you say your name. Drogon999. Congratulations, being on a random listener winner. I'll note down your username, shoot me a DM, and I'll get that $25 heading your way. All right, guys, 5 seconds, and we're gonna start up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get going. We got 12 questions here prepared by Mike. Let's see what they are. Oh, it's a duplicate. All right. Question 1. What chain is Milkshake on? These are some very, very easy questions. Plenty of time to understand. It's very, very obvious. I'll tell you guys that. Very, very obvious. Kind of the whole point of this AMA. 3, 2, 1. Very obviously, Milkshake is on the MRC chain, aka the Moo chain. Not too sure who thought it was on ETH or BSC, but it's a Moo chain token. And if I'm right, MRC is the ticker of the Moo chain, right? I believe so. All right, on to question 2. What are Milk's current buy and sell taxes? I think the ones on the website are slightly different to what's currently in the Telegram. So I hope either we're right or the people answering the question are right. So let's have a look. 3, 2, 1. And the current buy and sell taxes are 8 and 8. I can see why most of you thought it was 10 and 10. That's because that's what's on the website right now. But Vito, you might want to reach out to your web dev and let them know.
Yeah, I think the team is just fixing. I think the team at the beginning put 10-10, so that's pretty why. But yeah, I'll talk to the team. The team will sort that out.
Sure. Awesome. All right. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. James in first once again with P-Lord in second and Pickering's in third. Wow. Very, very similar names coming up. You guys are definitely keeping a listen out. Where will these taxes be allocated towards? I hope we're right on this one as well, because I'm not too sure if it's 100% obvious, but we'll find out. We'll have a beta verify as well. But where are these taxes going to be allocated? It's 6% marketing and 2% LP. Is that correct, Tabito?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. All right. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting most of you guys to get that right, but it is 6% marketing and 2% LP. I just realized that there's 2 of these. 2% LP. All right. Well, we'll just say that you guys got that right. Shit. My bad. Not much going on with the scoreboard. Let's go to question 4. Milk has a max supply of 1 billion tokens. Is it true or false? Is it true or is it false? Pretty easy, this one. Pretty easy. And obviously the answer is true. This guy's launched with a 1 billion token supply, so the price is very, very low, which is lovely. Lots of room for growth. James still at the top. On to question 5. What DEX is required to buy Milkshake? Where do you buy your Milkshake tokens? Where? Is it BarnSwap, MilkSwap, PancakeSwap, or Uniswap? I think the previous question would give you a bit of an indication as to what's right and wrong here, but very obviously BarnSwap. I don't think there's anything called MilkSwap as of yet, but yeah, it's BarnSwap. These guys are not a Uniswap token or a PancakeSwap token, so BarnSwap it is. Mr. X, Mr. and Need Beans coming up back on the leaderboard. Let's have a look at question 6. What market cap is Milk currently sitting at? Roughly what they sat at. I know they had a little bit of a dip a couple hours ago, but they've nicely recovered from that. So What's the current market cap? Is it 100K, 200K, 250, or 75K? Find out now. They are roughly 100K. I think they're like 105K? Something like that. But yeah, good stuff. Good to see you guys keeping up with the chart. P-Lord overtaking James. Wow. A little mood chain question here. When did mood chain first go live? Was it November the 3rd, 2022? November the 7th, 2022? July 2021? Or November the 5th, 2022? Which one is it? Wow, a lot of you guys thought it was November the 3rd. I think that's when the testnet I think got released or something like that. But I think Obito, you mentioned that the November the 7th was the actual proper launch date, if that's right. I believe so. All right, well, the leaderboard. Wow, Need Beans shooting to the top there. 4 answers in a row correct. Good stuff. On to question 8. What are some future utilities Milkshake plans to release? What do they plan to release? A bridge, a locker, safe scanner bot, staking, or NFTs? I think this is a very, very easy and simple question here. Should be a breeze. Very obviously, it is all of the above. These guys are working on absolutely everything listed. Lots of key things, especially for mood chain development in general. I think genuinely it might propel them to some decent success once these utilities come out, with all the new chain hype and such. So I'm definitely curious to watch that. Gills overtaking Pickerings. Nice. Question 9. What utility does Milk first plan to release? I'm not sure if this was mentioned, but somewhere over there in the Telegram. What is the first utility that Milk plan to release? It is the SafeView Analyzer bot. Definitely a very key aspect, especially with new launches on Mood Chain. Excited to see that. And wow, scoreboard completely changing. Pickering's in first, Mr. X Mister in second, Need Beans following in third. Let's have a look at this puzzle. What are the next steps? What are the steps to acquiring Milk from top to bottom? How do you get on Mood Chain and actually end up buying Milk on BarnSwap? So for this question, you gotta rank the kind of options from top to bottom. So from start to finish, starting at the top and then at the bottom. It's a bit of a longer question here. How do you buy yourself some milk? Fun fact, I'm actually lactose intolerant, so I get the shits every time I have milk. I gotta get oat milk and shit. All right, well, let's see how many of you guys got this right. So the current steps are: you buy Moo, you bridge on Sphinx, you add the RPC details to MetaMask, and then you buy and sell Milk on BarnSwap. It's very, very essential that you add the RPC details. A lot of people don't really know that they actually have to physically add the Mood Chain network to MetaMask. But yeah, make sure you guys do that. Let's see. Some of you got that right. Let's see the scoreboard. James in third now. Wow. Well, final question. True or false? Obito is a developer of Milkshake. Is it true or is it false? Very, very easy question. Very, very simple. Let's see if you guys were listening. I hope every one of you guys get this right. Very, very simple. 3, 2, 1. And it's false. Wow, 50-50. I know Obito might be with us here today, but Obito is not the dev of Milkshake. He is on the core team, doing a lot of the work, but he's not the actual dev. I'm sure he's got many other things to focus on. But let's have a look at the final standings. In third place, we have Need Beans, once again. In second place, we have Mr. X Mister. And in first place, we have, I think I know who this is going to be, Pickerings. Congratulations, guys. Some very, very good listening. Excellent listening from you guys. I'm going to screenshot this quickly and send it over to Frog himself. Lovely, lovely stuff. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. All right. Well, I think that summarizes our Milkshake AMA. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Obito, if there's any parting words you want to mention before we finish up here, do go for it. It's been a pleasure having you on once again. And yeah, wish you all the best of luck, you and the team. And we'll definitely be shooting out some updates very, very soon. Excited to see where Milkshake goes.
Sounds good, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, watch it over the next month or two. Of course, moves lower now. One thing that keeps us stable is our LP. It's very thick, which is very well friendly. You see a lot of big apes in there, which is quite nice. And yeah, I guess just watch it.
Amazing, amazing. Great stuff. Well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in maybe tomorrow, maybe another day. Who knows? But we got plenty of AMAs scheduled this week as well. So stay tuned. Keep those notifications on. And yeah, we'll let you guys know when we get something new. All right, guys. Well, have a lovely rest of your night. And yeah, take care. See ya.